Hello, little enzymes. Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. The topic of today's video is the best friend. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So, the first story, am I the a-hole for my response to my friend's confession after she rejected me? Content warning for non-binary phobia. I don't expect you to like or agree with what I'm about to say, but it has always been the way I am, and I've never lied about it. My friends have known this about me for years, and it just feels like they want me to break my principles for the sake of doing it, which feels toxic to me. I am pretty sure I am in the right, but my friends heavily disagree, so I wanted to ask for outside opinions. I've always been prideful to what some would call a fault, but I would call the lack of pride I witness the same if I was being brutally honest, an a-hole. So maybe we're just different people. I've had the same friend group for most of my life. We're all mid-20s. I do not believe in the whole break up, get back together, or the yes, no thing. If you say you don't want me, you don't want me. End of story. We can close that book and get back to where we were, no problem, and I won't bring it up again. 6-ish weeks ago, I finally got up the courage to ask out my best friend, someone I had feelings for a long time before this. She wasn't interested, and I accepted that right away, because why would I not? We've been friends for a long time, and I didn't expect anything from her. I did distance myself for just a little bit to get over the awkwardness, but within a little over a week, it was like nothing happened and I was glad. At least until this last weekend, where during a sleepover with all of our friends at my place, she kissed me. No one else was paying attention and I was kind of in shock, so I just pulled away and shook my head. I honestly figured she was plastered and that would be the end of it. We all had been drinking a lot and I wasn't even going to bring it up. Next morning, I wake up and she, as well as a couple of our friends, are gone. The ones that were still there were really angry. No matter how I try to explain where I'm coming from, I'm apparently not understanding how hard it was for her to confess and that she felt humiliated by my reaction. I told them that they all knew how I felt about this kind of thing, and they started talking about how it was a different situation and that my response was heartless. I don't know, am I the a-hole? I don't think they are. I mean, I understand the girl was embarrassed because she tried to make a move and it got rejected. At the same time, just a couple weeks ago, it seems like 6-ish weeks ago, they said. So a month and a half ago, OP confessed their feelings and the best friend wasn't having it. So how is this any different? Okay. Some of the comments. Not the a-hole, what the heck is wrong with your friends? Rejecting a kiss by pulling away and shaking the head is heartless now? Do they think you have to accept any approach by a woman? Assuming the way you describe the situation is accurate, you didn't humiliate her, you just rejected her, which is totally fine. Right. Another comment on top of that, he thinks no one saw, which means she was the one who told everyone. I don't think it's a he, I think it's a they, because from what I know, they are non-binary, I think. But the comment continues, she can be embarrassed about the rejection, but she humiliated herself. Another person, I'd be more worried about what she told everyone. And then someone else, not the a-hole, what in the grade school shenanigans is this? She rejects you, then changes her mind and kisses you without saying anything? Weird. OP responded, to be fair to her, and I mentioned this in another comment, when we were young, we made out and messed around some when we would drink or smoke, but also we haven't done anything like that since we were teenagers, so it was still unexpected for me. It's also why I didn't take it seriously at all. I thought she was plastered and excited, and that she thought I was plastered and excited. Not a crime and not something I even thought was worth bringing up, honestly. That's y'all be making out with y'all friends? I ain't never made out with my friend. I ain't never did that. Oh man. Another comment says, it seems cruel for her to confess that way then, because why would you assume this time was different from all the other previous times? I think not the a-hole, and she probably has a lot of people on her side because she told her version first. Talk to your closer friends and start explaining your side again. If they still disagree, it might be time to step away a bit. Either way, unless you dramatically jumped back while gasping and pushing her away, I don't think your reaction was at all mean or harsh. Whoa, okay. So update 4 days later. I promised a couple of people an update if there was one. Other than me just losing almost all of my friends in one go, and to my surprise, there is. Though at the same time, I'm mostly posting this for me, shouting into a void, because I feel slightly rock bottom right now, and my gut is telling me to quit my job, pack my stuff, and leave this state. Leave this half of the country, to be honest, because life here is unsalvageable for me. Dang, what happened? I got family out west who would let me stay for a while, and every second I consider it, it seems like a better idea. Oh my goodness, what happened? I also wanted to start by saying I would like to explain my position a little bit better, so just skip the next 2 paragraphs if you don't want to hear it, but I do want the chance to explain myself a little better. I was a wreck writing the first one, and looking back over it, I didn't give many details regarding my reasons or how I felt about it outside of avoiding the situations. I do not view myself as an epic badass or whatever else everyone was commenting on the last post. In fact, I do understand that to many, this is a pretty fatal flaw in my personality. I have accepted that for a lot of people, that opinion is one that cuts off the possibility of friendship. It sucks, but I also don't want to change myself or force myself into uncomfortable situations just because people don't like a part of me. What are they? I don't know what they're referring to when they say that. Are they referring to them not believing in the breakup, get back together, yes, no thing? Is that what they're referring to? I'm not quite sure. I think that's it. So they continue, I am very accepting of others' views on the situation and completely agree that my own can seem rigid. I don't blame people for disagreeing. I think that plenty of people could have a wonderful relationship in that situation. I only even brought this up because it matters to the story. However, I also know that when it comes to relationships, it would not be fair to either party in a case like this. I know for a fact I would never fully know that I wasn't a backup option or that they aren't just saying yes because it's convenient now. I don't want those kinds of thoughts in my head, and I don't want to constantly feel like I have to prove I am worth it in a relationship. Low-key, I do get what they're saying, because if I try to make a move on somebody and they say no, and then like a month and a half later they're like, well, actually, then I'd be second guessing like, wait, what made you change your mind? Like, why all of a sudden you down for the get down when you weren't just 6 weeks ago? So I get that. So OP says, I have more pride, or maybe as others have said it, self-respect is better wording. It isn't meant as a gotcha or to punish the other person in any way. It's because even if I still have romantic feelings, I genuinely don't think the relationship is a good idea anymore. Anyway, for the actual update, after almost a full week of radio silence, she replied to my text and asked if we could meet and talk. I asked where she wanted to meet, and she said, my place. I assume for privacy, which is cool. I know a lot of people were talking about her trying to set me up for crimes and stuff, but I'm not really worried about that from her. I just don't think she would. She isn't vindictive. So when she got here and we sat down, I pretty much just told her that I was so confused about everything that I didn't even know what to make of all that happened, and I asked her to tell me what happened from her point of view. There were two differences between her version and my version that I picked up on, which may well have been accurate. I was plastered, and they aren't huge differences, but at the same time, I can see how it would be embarrassing. She claims that after I pulled away, I made a face like I was grossed out. Afterward, she said I shifted to be leaning away from her for the rest of the movie, and it just made it worse. I don't remember either of them, but again, drunk. Not gonna deny it, I have little control over my face when I smoke or drink, and I absolutely could have made a face without realizing it, just out of shock. I apologized for that and assured her I wasn't disgusted, just shocked as heck, and also assuming it was a drunk mistake kind of thing. Heck, we've all done stupid stuff drunk, no big deal. It was only the next morning when I was bum rushed with accusations before I even got a morning pee that I was told it was meant to be any kind of hint or whatever. She did look really embarrassed at that point and told me she hadn't thought about it that way and just thought it would be more simple than everything else. I decided, against my better judgment, to ask the question everyone here told me I needed to ask. Why did she actually reject me at first, and what caused her to change her mind? That's when things got really uncomfortable, and I could tell she didn't want to tell me, but eventually she did. Apparently, her parents are more bigoted than she or anyone else led me to believe, so in her own words, telling them we were in a relationship wouldn't be worth it since I came out. I am non-binary, and she said they haven't liked me since then, but stay civil for her sake. Dang. Meaning that they would just trash talk me whenever I left, which is really frustrating and embarrassing considering all I've done for that freaking family over the years. She was scared that dating would push them too far and they'd cut her off from their lives. She said that she'd hoped maybe we could try dating on the down low, and if things got serious enough, then she could. Hell nah. Nope. I'm not finna be your little science experiment, your little pet project, your little dip into the... No. Get somebody else to do it. I pretty much just told her I had a lot to think about and asked her if she could give me some time. She agreed and left. And I don't know if I'm more furious or embarrassed or hurt. Why didn't she tell me before now they were saying that kind of stuff about me? What kind of friend does that? I'm not saying she had to cut them off or stop seeing them. I totally understand weird dynamics with parents, believe me, but maybe tell me that they have an open disgust and hatred for my existence before I decide to help them with household chores and treat them like I would family. That is so odd. Why would they have them over at the house doing things, acting normal? That's fake. That's fake AF. That the parents had them over there as if it was like, if anything, just tell me I can't come. I would much rather that than to be over there and you're being nice, nasty, and fake in my face. But as soon as I leave, you talking crap. That would give me trust issues. OP says, I grew up with these people. For goodness sake, I thought of her mother as a better one to me than my own. Not a high bar, but she was doing cartwheels 50 feet over it in my eyes. I am so sick to my stomach with grief. I'm pretty sure we aren't gonna be able to be friends anymore, and it just hurts. I grew up with her. She is the first person other than my dad I came out to, and I never ever thought there would be anything she would do that I couldn't forgive her for, but making a fool out of me for years, then suggesting we date quietly so her family doesn't have to know she's with the local freak show, just feels way too far. Yeah, there's no coming back from that. I want to forgive her, but she's not even sorry. She didn't even apologize for anything. I want to see her reasons. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but it just hurts. I'm not sure if I wish I hadn't followed the advice or not right now, even though I know it's better to know. I am glad at least that I will know to stop wasting time, labor, and money on people who hate me. But to know that they hate me is so painful. Man, I couldn't imagine that. Wow. Someone said, along with everything else, this must suck like heck. So sorry for you, OP. If she wasn't even willing to stand up to you with her family, then it was probably the best decision to not be involved with her. And certainly not now. OP said, yeah, a romantic relationship is entirely off the table. I'm trying to wait to speak to my therapist before I do anything rash, but I do not want to be here anymore. Ooh, I hope they just mean like in the city. And I'm just scared it's gonna get worse. I have cried so much over her mom since we spoke. She's the one who helped with my homework, who took me to the doctor when I was sick, and made sure I had enough to eat, and now she just hates me? It feels so unfair. That's messed up. That's messed up. I might want to talk to the parents so I could talk to them face to face and be like, what happened? Like, do you really not like me? But that might make it worse. Someone else said, so your friend came over. She explained her embarrassment and interpretation of what happened. She took on your view on what happened and how you were ambushed in the morning and how everyone got mad at you. Now that she knows all this, is she gonna smooth it out with everyone else and get them to apologize to you? Are you gonna be accepted in the friend group again? Are things gonna go back to the way they were? I get that her family is bigoted, that you are frustrated, how they viewed you, and how she wanted a relationship on the DL. Her family is a new second issue she's raised, but that's separate from your first issue. Losing your entire friend network on top of that, and she's responsible for that, for isolating you and turning everyone against you. She needs to reframe you pulling away from her kiss as not a rejection, but you not taking advantage of someone who was intoxicated and confusion as to her actions after rejecting you. Assigning it to drunk mistake is fair enough, but recognizing that in the moment and acting like a gentleman and not taking advantage of her was the right thing to do, especially since she didn't verbalize anything related to it, just her going for the kiss, which, by the way, wasn't a confession. It was just lobbing the gob. A confession uses words. OP responded, the hateful messages have stopped, but no one has apologized, and I'm keeping them muted for now, just in case they get angry again. I don't know. I get the feeling they just want to pretend they didn't say stuff, and that isn't happening. Also, that's an assumption, and you know what assumptions do, so take it with a grain of salt. Maybe they feel bad and want to reach out. Maybe they're waiting for something. I don't know. I just want to give that benefit of the doubt because I am trying not to think the worst of everyone right now. Another comment, wow, I'm so sorry. This is completely different to what I was expecting, and honestly, I think this is the best and worst outcome. It's good that you two were able to sit down and sort through your issues without any drama. On the other hand, finding out that her parents, whom you grew up with and view as family, actually despise you is heartbreaking. I'm really sorry about what you're going through, and there are people out there cheering you on. Another comment, very sorry for your pain. This kind of stuff can feel worse than when someone you love dies. The relationship died because of their hate, and they accepted your care, work, and money. What a disgusting betrayal. I'm so sorry. OP responded, I honestly just can't face it. Part of me wants to reach out and say something to them, but even if I did, I know I would just be the one who caused a scene. That was kind of part of my gut reaction too. Like, I don't know if I would reach out or not. I don't know. I feel like I would just want to have a conversation, but at the same time, I know that it wouldn't like change anything. So I don't know. Someone else said, I'm not in favor of ghosting normally, but in this case, I think moving west and ghosting everyone seems like a really good idea. There is no point in talking to people like that, in my opinion. Please get therapy. You are perfect just the way you are. Let go of the crappy people who live in small worlds. Sending you internet mom hugs. OP responded, thank you, really. I've been in therapy for a while, stuff with my mom, actually. But if I move, I'll find a new one. This just feels like I lost a mom, even if I never had a decent one anyway. My mom was a lot, and I didn't know who my father was until I was in high school. Dad is complicated, seems like the best way to put it. Not getting into that, not even important right now, but I've always tried to be someone that family could be proud of. I knew they weren't super happy with me coming out, but I figured it was more they were older and didn't understand or something. I don't know, I just hate it. Sorry, word vomit, I know. I'm still just emotional and I don't really have people to talk to in real life. Dang, this was 18 days ago. Let me see if there's anything else. No, there's no other posts. I gotta know, did they move out west? What happened? That sucks. Just imagine people who you've known all your life, or at least a lot of years, just turn on you like that. It'd be like that though. It'd be like that. I'll just say that. Well, I guess we'll go to the next story. This one is, am I overreacting? I, 25 female, think my 33 male boyfriend is lying to me and is gay with his best friend. We are set to get married soon. Now, this story was a bit of a doozy for me. I skimmed through it and I was like, what is going on here? So I will have to censor a bit heavily here. So when I say member, that is a member of a biological male, PE. Ew. Ew, I can't even. When I say member, I mean member, okay? Not a member of a band, not a member of an organization, a member of a body. And okay, yeah, let's just go. So it says, we have been together for 3 years. We have great intimacy. He tells me he loves me, he wants kids, and he tells me it's just a joke and they do this because it's funny. His best friend, we'll call him Tyler for the sake of this post, and him talk intimately to each other all the time. Sexually, all the time. I've seen over his shoulder texts saying things like, I'm going to do some sexually explicit things to you that will cause you to have trouble walking for days after. And she continues, and I have seen photos of both of them sending pictures to each other of their members. I was snooping last night. I know, I shouldn't do that. But Tyler sent my fiance a photo of his member, fully erect, a couple days ago, and my fiance said, nice member, bro. And things like, too bad I'm not gay, or I'd take care of that. Like, it almost seems like they're joking, but sending actual pictures of their members like multiple times, and both of them erect, talking like this pretty regularly. Am I the a-hole? Please help. We are set to get married soon, and I'm worried he is cheating on me with Tyler. So there is an edit and an update, and we also have a response from the fiance, child. This is too much. This is too much. I understand that some cultures have it where it's funny to like make gay jokes to each other. I never really understood it. In the circles that I'm a part of, I don't really see it, but I do know that it exists in other friend groups and in typically other like cultures. It's weird. It's just it doesn't make sense to me, because to me it's not funny. Like, how is that a joke? I just don't get it as a joke. Like, why are you joking about being gay? I don't get how it's funny. Where's the punchline and then there's one thing to make jokes, but then to be sending your homie pictures of yourself erect, bro. Like, come on. That's over the line of what anything, any joke, any type of gay joke or anything could be considered. That's over the line. Because guaranteed, one of y'all is getting excited, a little too excited about what you see and what you feel. That would be too much for me. I don't think that would be too much for me. That would be borderline cheating for me. That would be too much for me. Oh, somebody said joking is different, but sending pictures is way too out of line for straight people. OP responded, that was my thought. Right away, I just took it as guys being guys. I hear them talk like this all the time, but full on pics, I was like, okay, now this is crossing a line, and I'm wondering if the talk is more than jokes. Another person said, I second this. Actually, sending photos is just so out of line. I'd trust your gut with this one. Someone else, guys don't send each other member pics for fun. It doesn't happen, and I would stand my ground hard on that, and I would let him know that in no way will you ever support cheating of any kind with guys or girls. So if he has feelings, either gay or bi, he better speak now, because if you find proof, it won't go well. I would also ask for a prenup with a cheating clause that covers messages, pics, emotional and physical cheating with huge penalties if it happens. The pics with his buddy and the gay talk would stop, or the wedding wouldn't happen. That was kind of my thinking, like, it's borderline cheating. Like, if you want to be bi, you can be bi or gay or whatever. But like, you're in a committed relationship and that's your fiance, and you sending intimate pictures to another person and saying intimate things to another person. That on so many levels is just over the line. But then you claim that you straight. You ain't straight. Just accept it, bro. Someone said, yeah, no, this is not normal, but I'm a if the shoe was on the other foot person, and would ask him what he would say if you're sending pictures of yourself, spread eagle, full V shots to your best girlfriend, and then sending texts about how you can't wait to dine. That stuff wouldn't fly, and no way would he be comfortable with that. Set a boundary and tell him, I don't care if you feel comfortable enough for this. I'm telling you, I'm not. I don't want my husband or fiance getting or sending pictures of other people's genitals. Full stop. End of story. Exactly. Someone responded to that and said, that doesn't address the issue of, is he gay? That's really weird behavior between two supposedly heterosexual men, and at the very least, it would make me extremely uncomfortable. In what universe is that okay? And what's to say they'll ever stop doing it? I couldn't in a million years have imagined my late husband sending photos like that to any of his friends, and we had a lot of friends who would joke around. This is a whole different ball game, and I wouldn't marry anyone who thought that was okay. And that same person responded and said, could you imagine what you'd think if he was going out of state with his friend for a guy's camping trip or to Vegas? I'd have zero trust in him to be alone with this friend. Without trust, you can't have a relationship. And yes, it seems to be she's marrying someone who clearly has intimate feelings for his male friend. Yeah, this would be too much for me. Cause yeah, get a little alcohol in you and them texts could become reality real quick. So the update, which was 4 days later, wow, I'll start with that. I didn't say anything when they were together. I was full of anxiety and all in my head, and I just couldn't do it. I brought it up this morning before he left for work. I said something to the nature of, I looked at your phone and I would love to know why you two are smexting with each other. I'm not comfortable with it and we need to talk about this. Are you gay or... He literally burst out laughing as I'm tearing up asking this. He says this is all a big joke. He says that this whole thing started because they were making fun of homophobes and people who are insecure with their smexuality, and it went from jokes to full-on pics. He said they talk about how it's so funny that seeing a member makes you gay, or people find it gross when in fact it's no different than a picture of an ear or a hand. It's a big inside joke because straight men are not supposed to act like this, and people who think that makes you gay or weird are just insecure and childish. He says that it started with just sending pictures of members from the internet and eventually led to them sending their own because of the shock value. I literally do not know what to think about this. I told him to stop it now, and he said he would respect that and not do it anymore, but also said I need to chill and doesn't like that I looked at his phone. I did see him start talking on his phone as he was leaving the driveway, probably ranting about me. Girl. Ooh, girl. I feel like this is I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this moment. Because girl. Ooh-wee. Somebody said, imagine having to explain to your friends and family that your girl left you because you and your friends could not stop sending each other member pics. Wild times. This is a longer comment that says, I've worked on oil rigs and I've been deployed in the Navy, and we've all said stuff that would make a gay man blush or fall in love with us. I've heard some of the worst, most foul and derogatory things ever uttered. That type of joking around has become so common it doesn't register with me most of the time. I've been around this route of talking for over a decade. I have not heard of even one instance of a man sending a picture of his own junk to another man as a joke. Sure, there was that picture that went around for a while of that black dude sitting on the edge of the bed or couch, but that was different. That wasn't your own. The rules on this pretending to be gay stuff that straight men do is weird, but there are lines you don't cross. I've seen some weird stuff happen. To give you an idea of some of the more tame stuff that would happen, in the Navy, a group of us sailors and Marines who just graduated a class, we all went to Hooters for dinner to celebrate. By the end of the night, two guys were trying to gross each other out. They both, hold on, let me pre-read this. They did some really gross and unsanitary things, like picking the gum off the bottom of the table and tables around it and eating it. At that point, someone said they should kiss each other. That right there was where the joking stopped. It was okay for these two men to exchange germs, but it wasn't okay to do it while their lips were touching. That was where the line was drawn. And I'd be side-eyeing the person who talking about they should kiss each other. I'd be like, bro, you got something to say? This is a safe space. You got something you want to get off your chest, bro? Us guys will do some weird stuff, and it's hard to explain the lines to women sometimes. And honestly, most of us don't care if someone is gay or not. Just like we don't care what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. We're simple. All we care about is if you're fun to be around. We do draw the line between pretending to be gay and actually being gay. That line is absolutely crossed when you start sending pictures of your southern parts to your guy friends. Some of these comments, I cannot read them. Okay, I'll try to. This comment said, sure, I do a little bit of fellatio every now and again as a joke. LMAO, it's just a joke. Oh, the rest of it I cannot read. Okay, so let me go to the boyfriend's side of the story. He posted it 6 days. He actually posted it today, October 11th. He said, I sent this to my soon-to-be wife to post for me. We had a heartfelt and serious discussion about what she's been thinking, and then she told me about her Reddit posts. I will be honest, I have shared these with Tyler, and we find this all super hilarious, as well as my fiance, now that she understands. All three of us hung out a few days ago and talked about it, and we shared a good laugh. Oh. Conclusion, our sense of humors are much more developed than your average Redditor. I don't know if developed would be the word that I would use, but definitely different. A lot of people said gay humor between straight men is normal, but Snapchatting a picture of your erect member when they're not expecting it is too far and not funny. Get the F out. People on these posts are the ones making it smexual, not us. We just find it hilarious because it's unexpected and shocking, and people's reactions when we tell them we do this, like all of yours, is funny as heck to us. This is not a secret among our group of guy friends, and a handful of other dudes have seen our members besides just us two. What the heck? After my conversation with my fiance and Tyler, we agreed we wouldn't behave like this anymore if it made her uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with being gay, and if either of us was gay, we wouldn't have a problem with that or keep it a secret. It's not our fault we've unlocked peak humor and y'all are projecting your perception of smexuality or insecurities onto the situation. We live in a pretty homophobic world, and I'm sure a lot of the men in these threads got bullied and called gay when they were in school growing up. Your fear of people thinking you're gay is not my problem or has anything to do with my life. It's perfectly okay if you wouldn't send a photo of your member to one of your friends, but if my bud Tyler wants to hit one of our bros with a member pic randomly every 6 months when they're least expecting it and everyone involved just finds it funny, then who gives a crap? It's not his fault you have a weak sense of humor. If you see a member and think of it as inherently smexual, that says more about you than it does us, buddy. To answer a lot of people's questions, no, I would not care if my fiance sent a picture of her southern regions to one of her girlfriends as a joke. It literally wouldn't bother me in the slightest. If it bothers you, that's you. I also saw a woman in one of the threads who said she divorced her husband because he wanted to explore other things sexually because that's gay. LOL. So obviously the understanding of sexuality in this community is limited. A man and a woman engaging in intimate acts is not gay in any capacity. Homosexuality is when two men engage in sexual or romantic behavior. That's it. Do people send intimate pics in a sexual capacity? Obviously. Sometimes it's just funny. Get over it. Sorry, you're insecure about people seeing your member. It's just a member. It's not going to hurt you. This is a very weird, backwards, Puritan society we live in. After speaking about it with my fiance and Tyler together, she understands it's just a big joke to us, even though it's not her particular sense of humor. She said she doesn't know if she's okay with it, so we agreed we won't act like that anymore. Boom, problem solved. She's my soulmate and I love her very much. Everyone telling her to run away or break up with me is a freaking idiot projecting their own crappy relationship experiences onto us. Maybe learn to give advice objectively instead of projecting next time. You don't know us. You don't know the dynamics of my relationship or of my friendships. I appreciate everyone who actually tried to offer her thoughtful, compassionate advice that led to us communicating about this so we could move past it. For the men messaging her on here and flirting, I would like to say you took advantage of her during an emotional time, and she told me about how she played into this and will not do it again. I don't have a Reddit, but my wife will show me this post later tonight, and then we are moving on from this crap. Goodbye. He said wife, but they not married. A notable comment, ha 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 ha, nothing to see here, pushes unclothed best friend back in the closet. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be able to, no, because I'm just thinking like, in order for you to send an erect photo of your member to your homie, I mean, like, you know, you gotta like get it there, you know? So like, what are you thinking about? Oh yeah, I'm finna send this to Tyler, you know? Is it just one that you already had like in the photo app? Or is it like is this fresh? I have a lot of questions. I think time will tell, but I don't know if I would be fully comfortable with this. Oh man. Somebody said, what the F did I just read? How is an erect member not smexual? Somebody said, yeah, I get that a member is not inherently smexual, but an erect member paired with intimate talk makes it sound smexual. That's right. Exactly. Somebody said, you just don't have a refined sense of humor. All super genius gentlemen and scholars send each other a nice pic of the old sausage once in a while. Oh man, that's crazy. Well, like I said, the last update was today, so there's nothing new. Let's go to something wholesome, something cute, something wholesome. Before I get to the palette cleanser, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I saw this on the Made Me Smile subreddit. I just thought it was so freaking cute. It's just this video of this mom and her little baby laying there. Look at her little smile.
This girl
She is so cute.
She wanna make me leave.
Oh, she is so freaking cute. I don't want kids, but sometimes when I see these cute little babies, I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. Still not gonna make me have one, but they just be so cute. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.